So uh, good evening, everyone. Are you able to see my screen?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, fine. So today we are going to demonstrate the programs for different process API. Right now, the first we know that we have a fork system call, and then we have write system call, and then we have EXEC system call. Right now, let us try to demonstrate all of this. Now, what is the need of fork system call?
Create a child process.
Good. Now, that is the first experiment we are going to do. Like we know that we have discussed this code. The first 3 lines are header files, and in line 7 we use a fork system call. Therefore, the parent is creating the child process, and here RC is the return value. Right now, the return value of parent and the return value of child is different. Now, for the parent process invoke fork system call. Therefore, in line 13, the child process is created. Right? That is line 12. The child process is created. That is the value of RC is a return value. The return value of child is 0. Now, in line 14, you have a code for the child process. You have a printf statement. Now, this statement is related to the child process, right? And in line 17, this printf statement is related to the parent process, right? Now, if you look at this, how many printf statement you have in the code?
Three.
3. Now, how the flow of execution? What is your the code? The flow of execution. It starts from your code executes from which part of the code? Which part of the instruction? Yeah, good. Always the execution starts from main, right? Now, in line 6, I always remember your execution starts from the main program, right? Main function. Now, in line 6, you have printf statement. Now, look at the output. First, it is going to print the line 6 hello world, and look at the printf statement. Inside the parenthesis, you have hello world and process identifier. Now, why you have in percentage D? Percentage D
It's integer.
is what?
Integer.
Yeah,
Denotes
it's a format
integer
specifier,
return.
right? Yeah, good. It's a format specifier. The percentage D indicates an integer, right? So the first printf statement is printed. Therefore, you get hello world. Every process will have some ID in the system. Therefore, that is printed, right? And then the CPU will execute line 7. The fork system call is invoked. Therefore, the child process is created, right? And then the next printf statement is in the line 14. So now, in some cases, the parent will be executed first, okay, because that is the process created first. In some other cases, the line 14 will be printed, and then the line 17 will be printed. Okay. All right.
Sir, what was that F printf?
Yeah, that I like to give that in the quiz, and I will come back to that later. Okay. All right.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Fine. So if you look at this output, okay. If you look at the code is same. In this page, the output is first it's going to print the first printf statement. So you'll have hello world process PID, and then the line 17 is printed, and then line 14 is printed. But under different scenario, okay, under different scenario, the output is also will be like this. Hello, I am child, and then the parent is printed. Okay. Why is that? Why is that?
Sir, because parent will wait for child process to first terminate it.
Did you use a white system call in this code?
Yes, sir.
Did you? Okay. Yeah. Yeah. So, see, listen. No, I'm not discussing on this code. Here we have used white, but if you look at the same code, if you look at figure 5.1, this will have the output like this, or in some cases, you will have output like this. Can you see the difference? What is the difference here? What is the difference?
So here the child process is first executing and then the parent is
And
continuing.
then the parent process. Good. Now to understand why this happens, you read this last paragraph. The last paragraph. Okay. So the output of P1.c, that is process P1, that is what this code is. P1.c. Okay. Now, if you look at this, we have two active processes in the system, that is parent child. Now we are assuming that we are running the code on a single CPU. Okay. Now when we have a single CPU, by assumption, then either child or parent might run at that point. So in the example, in the above example, the parent has executed first. The parent has executed first, and then, okay, in other cases, the opposite might happen. That is, the child may execute first and then the parent. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Fine. So can you execute this code?
So is it a matter of chance that which one gets executed first, or is there a way to determine which one gets executed first?
That's what they said if we assume a single CPU. But okay, fine. Let us try to understand by looking at the code. Generally, what is the flow of execution? We always go from main function of the code. Now you have printf in line 6, so obviously that will be executed first, and then the second printf statement in line 14, so that is I'm child, that will be executed, and in line 17, the last printf statement. So we'll have the execution instruction by instruction, right? But what they said is, if we assume that we have a single CPU, sometimes the parent may execute first and then the child comes. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Is that fine?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Raghav? Okay, fine. Now let me give you 10 minutes for you to execute the code and see whether you are getting this output. You have a code with you. Look at each and every line, and then we'll come back to this fprintf. And when you go for fprintf, look at the parenthesis inside that. You have standard error. Standard error is a file pointer. Okay, first try to complete this execution, then we'll discuss about fprintf. So this will be for your next assessment. For the second assessment.
Sir, an error is coming. Undefined reference to fork.
Yes, sir, for me also.
Please don't copy the code directly and paste it. So I want you to type, and there will be some error. Try to rectify that. So you can have only 10 minutes of time for this. If you don't want to use this code, you can think of uh, using a fork system call in your own code. How many of you get an output for this? How many of you done with this? Can you please raise the hand? Yeah, good. Tejas, you done with the execution?
Yes, sir.
Good. And Swati Roy?
Yes, I'm also done.
Good. So now let me request Tejas to share the screen. Will you do that? Tejas, will you?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, good. Thank you. Yeah. So I request everyone to observe this. Tejas, I request please walk through the code for 2 to 3 minutes. And then Swati,
So let's share screen.
then I will come to next to Swati. Tejas, we are not able to see your screen.
Yes, sir. Just 1 minute.
Okay.
Sir, is it visible?
Yes. Yeah. Did you made any changes in the code or you use the same?
I didn't made any changes, sir. But on the first execution, I didn't got this I am child one. But
Okay.
on second time when I compiled, I got this line.
Okay. Okay. Why is that happened?
So maybe because of this RP thing.
So even for me, in the first 3 executions, I didn't get hello, I am child. I just got the first 2 lines.
Okay. Okay.
Yes, sir, even for me.
Okay. Oh, why is that happened? The code is same, right? Once we
Yes, sir.
compile it, we compile the complete code, and
So
once
I
we run it,
run
yeah.
the same code again, like I run the same code again and again, but I get different outputs every single time. Like sometimes it just prints the first 2, sometimes it prints all 3.
maybe because every time we compile, we actually get a new process. So
Yeah,
that actually changes the RC value and eventually the output changes.
but that you are right. That's supposed to change only the ID of the process, right? But we have to get all this printf statement as an output, right?
Yes, sir.
Every time if you run, the process ID definitely will change. Did you try that? When you try multiple times, did your process ID is changed or remain same?
It's changed.
Okay, okay, that is good observation. Good. Now, why this happens? How this execution happens? Good, I appreciate how this execution happens.
Sir, it is working on online compiler, but not on offline compiler, sir.
Okay. Okay, first let us, are you able to see my screen?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yeah. So when we use a fork system call, what we said in a parent code, when you use a fork system call, what happens?
Image of the parent process is created.
The exact copy, okay, exact copy of parent memory image is created. Now the child memory image will have the same code, right? Yes?
Yes, sir.
Will have the same code, same data, same stack, and same heap. Now, when child is executing, why? Now, in the code, how many printf statement do you have?
3.
3
Three.
printf statement. Yeah, 3 printf statement. Now, when you make a fork system call, we have exact copy of parent process, right? That we have child. Now, in child code, how many printf statement you will have?
One.
In the ch-
One, sir.
we said exact copy, right?
Two, sir.
Yes, sir. Then 3.
Then we supposed to have 3. See, when fork is invoked, you'll have an exact copy. What does it mean? Whatever the code is available in parent, you'll have the same code. But why? When child executed, when you complete this execution, you have only 3 printf statement. Why? Why is that? Now, please read the last 2 sentences. Please read the last 2 sentences. Then we'll have a discussion. Whatever I circle, please read that. Did you understand this? There are 2 copies of same program. Did you understand this statement?
Yes, sir.
What does it mean?
So basically it's
Whenever
telling. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, please go ahead, Raghav, one by one. Yeah.
So basically the fork makes sure like it doesn't split the it doesn't like re-execute the entire main function, but only from that particular point that the fork was called. So hello world doesn't print again.
Yes. Yes. Now, if you look at this code, in the line 6, you have a printer statement. Now, when the fork is called, the exact copy is created, but the child will execute the child will execute only the line from the line 12, 13, 14, 15. This code or belongs to child process, because how this differentiation happens based on the return value RC. Right now, if the RC value is 0, then the operating system assumes that this instruction or belongs to child. So only the child, then the CPU will execute only this instruction.
Sir,
For
what is fork returning, sir? It's a PID.
in which line?
Sir is asking about the fork function.
He's asking what for fork function is.
What is for function return, sir?
For function or fork?
Fork function, sir.
Fork, sir.
I'm sorry. You mean FORK?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that is to create a process, to create a child process, or to create a new process. Okay. All right.
Means, sir, it's returning new process PID.
Yeah, it will. Yeah, good. The child will have different process ID.
Okay, sir. Now I will understand.
Yeah, good. Now, when we make a fork, the child is created, right? Now, the child will have an exact copy of parent, but the child will execute one line 12, 13, 14, and 15, because the operating system will understand the child has different return value, RC. So that is what you have equal to 0. RC equal to 0. That means that the code belongs to the child. Now, if the RC is less than 0, then we have the parent process will print the last line of code, that is 17 and 18 belongs to the parent process. Okay. All right.
Yes, sir.
Now we are coming to line 10.
Sir,
Yes.
RC value is equal to 0 means a child process is a zombie process. So that value is 0.
Yeah. Yeah. Not only child process, even the parent process after the completion, the parent process, or after the parent process terminated, then the parent, if the parent process exists in the system, then we call that as zombie process. Then who will clean up the parent process completely?
Init.
Init. See, don't get confused here. Now we have used fork, the child is created. Now after child complete the execution, we no longer need the child to stay in the system, because we need to give a memory. So in order to avoid that, we want to clean the child process completely, right? That is memory image to be cleaned. So the parent will take care of that. The parent will clean the child. So whatever the memory is allocated will be taken. That will be used for other process. Now, when the parent complete the execution, the parent will be cleaned completely by the init process. Okay. All right. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Good. Now, to understand what is fprintf, I want you to read line 8 line 9, line 10, and line 11. All these are connected each other. Now, can you understand what this 4
Sir,
line of instruction does?
fprintf is used for files to
Okay,
print
okay,
something from files.
okay. But can you connect all of this line together and tell me what happens when we execute this? Look at the line 11. You have exit. What does it mean?
So does it mean stopping the execution of program?
Okay,
Yes, sir.
in line.
Means it's
Good.
means
Please go ahead.
in
Please go ahead.
Sir, I guess if as RC is less than 0, the fork process fails, and stdr says where the error is, and the exit exits from the loop.
Good. Now, if you
yes,
have
sir.
an
It's
exit,
is exit from
Yeah.
infinite loop, sir.
yeah, good. Now we know that in line 11 we have an exit. Now, what does it mean? And in line 8 you have a condition. If this condition is false, that is, if the fork system call is failed, then we are going to print the error message. Then we are going to exit the code. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Right now, fprintf is a function similar to a printf function, but inside this fprintf we are going to give an argument as a file pointer. We are going to give the file pointer as an argument. We know that std out, std in, std error, all are file pointer. Now, to
Yes,
understand
sir.
this, good. To understand line 10, you have to connect line 8, line 9, line 10, line 11. So you are trying to make a fork system call. If the operating system not able to execute the fork for some reasons, then we are going to exit the code at line 11. So when we exit the code at line 11, the output will be only an a printf. I mean, hello world. Okay. All right.
Yes, yes.
Good.
Yes, sir.
So good. Everyone understand this? The basic the fork system call.
Yes, sir.
Good. Now, I think many people got an output. I appreciate all your effort. But somebody said that you are not able to get when you execute in the Ubuntu platform. How many of you use Ubuntu OS? Okay, Isan, are you able to get an output for this?
Yes, sir. So I am not using an OS, but I'm using Ubuntu in Windows, and I'm able to get the output. But from the normal
Okay.
compiler, I'm not able to get. Like if I'm using VS
Yes, sir.
Code or
From
something
normal
like.
compiler not working. I
Yes,
uses online compiler, then it's work.
So normal compiler, in sense, you mean a VA editor, something like that?
sir. Any
Means
compiler
code
which runs on Windows will not execute fork. It has to be a
Yes, sir.
Linux-based platform.
Good, good. Because this code, no, whatever we discuss in class, this is written by the students of Stanford University, and they write this code for the Linux platform. Okay. All right. Deepak,
Yes, sir.
can you please share your screen?
Sir, I am working from joining from mobile and working on laptop, sir. Okay, I can send screenshot of mine code that
Okay.
works on online compiler, sir.
Okay. So how many of you using other than online compiler? How many of you got an output for this code by not using online compiler? Okay. Izzat, can you please share your screen?
Yes, sir. I am not the presenter.
Yeah. So you have a privilege of that.
Yes, sir. Sir, is my screen visible?
Yes.
Yes, sir. So I'm actually running this Ubuntu, like the code in Ubuntu, and I'm editing it in VS Code. And this
Okay.
is the output.
Okay. So what is the command you used for compile?
Sir, like GCC, the file name .c -o, and then the normal file name directly.
Good. The file name of your code.
Yes, sir.
Now, what is the command used for an run the code?
So // and then just the file name.
/ a file name. Good.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So you please write the code, the command for compile and
Yes,
command for run in the chat.
Okay, in the chat.
Okay. So
Yes,
we also need to understand, because we are in online, we do with online compiler. So in online compiler, it's just a click, right? It's a graphical user interface. But if you are in campus, we have to execute this code in the Linux platform. Then we have to deal with the command line interpreter. So to execute, to compile it, you have a command, and to run, you have a command for that. Okay, so please look at the chat. To compile it, GCC file name .c -o and then file name. For execution, / file name. Okay, everyone okay with the first code?
Yes, sir.
Excuse
Yes,
me,
sir.
Yeah, please go ahead.
sir. Sir, for the compiling code, we have to give the file name 2 times.
GCC file name .c -o a file name.
Yes, so the file name is 2 times. It's just that one has .c in it, and the
Yeah,
last one is
.c.
just file name.
And what
Okay, sir.
what is -0 here? -o. And what is GCC?
So does -o stand for
Compiler.
open?
So GCC is compiler for C.
Good.
Sir, compiler.
Good. Both are right answer, Raghav and Sankit. Okay. What is for what we use for -0? -o. O stands for
Output.
the output. Okay, fine, good. Okay. So can we go to the next code?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Okay. So the next is the write system call. Okay. Now we know that if you use write system call.
Sir, share is screen, sir.
Okay. Okay. Hold on. Hold on. Okay. Yeah. So now we have a parent process, and then we have a child process. Okay. Now, when you make a fork, a child is created, and in the parent code, we invoke a wait system call. Now, when the parent invoke wait system call, parent is waiting for child to complete the execution. Until the child complete the execution, the parent will wait. After child complete the execution, the wait system call will return to the parent process, and then parent will execute. Right? That is what happened in line 15. The parent is calling wait system call. Therefore, the parent is waiting for child to complete the execution. Now, what is the one difference here? Look at the header file. We know why we use all these are library header files. Why we use this? Why we use stdio.h?
So to use the built-in functions like printf.
Good.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, stdio.h is a header file. Under this header file, you have multiple functions, and one of the function we use in the code is a printf here for this case. So if you use scanf, then all those function comes under the header file stdio.h. Okay. Now, in the header file, you have standard library, standard lib, and then you have unistandard, and then you have system wide. Now, what is the reason of using line 3 and line 4? Why we use this?
So we use line 3 to use the fork and get PID, and for fork to use the
Yes,
wait
sir.
system.
Good, good. Okay. So now we can understand why we use the header file 3 and 4. Okay. Because the fork is a function, it's a system call, right? A system call is nothing but a function, a kernel functions. Now, to use this kernel function, it comes under certain header file. Okay, fine. So, can you execute this code?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So you can take next 10 minutes for executing this code, understand every line of the code. Please do not waste your time. Karthik, are you able to do this?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. Lokesh?
Yes, sir.
Did you complete program 1?
Yes, sir. That yes.
Good. Okay. Purnika?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Do you have any questions from program 1? Okay. Good. I appreciate all your efforts.
Done, sir.
Good. Good. Let us wait for 5 more minutes. People who done, please raise your hands. please save all your code, okay? Whatever you executed, make a separate Word document and keep all your executed code copy. Okay. I don't want you to just copy and paste it, but please understand the execution process. And read the PDF document. Whatever we are discussing now, if you read each and every line, it is quite interesting. How many of you read this? How many of you read this document?
Me, sir.
Okay, good. Okay. So how many of you like to work on XV6? XV6. How many of you interested to work with this? Okay. Can you please raise your hands? How many of you interested to work with this? Okay. Only one? All right.
Excuse me, sir.
Yeah.
So what is XP6?
Which book we use for reference? Whatever we teach in class, which author we are following it?
Sir, the book name is Operating System 3 Easy.
Okay. Who is the author for that?
The Ramsey H, I guess.
Yeah. Good. So Ramsey is the professor, and to make this operating system, to understand the operating system concepts, the student of Ramsey, along with other faculties, along with a colleague of Ramsey, they made XP6 operating system to understand the concept of the mechanism of each and every concepts of operating system. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. So if you want to understand more on this, let me give you the link for that. Okay. Let me give you the link in the chat. Okay. We can go into this to understand XP6. Even I am trying to learn this. I'm trying to learning this. So maybe after some time, I will be discussing only this. Maybe for your friends who join next time. See, okay. Now, can you see the screen?
Yes, sir.
Now,
Yes, sir.
if you go to this, good. If you go to this appendices, here you will find lab tutorial, system labs, XP6 labs, right? So, you can find how now you can see all of this information related to an XV6 lab. But it is not very easy. It takes more time, but if a group of people join together, then I think you can take this as a challenge and you can do this. Okay. All right.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Okay. So fine. So how many of you done this? Okay. Swastika, can you share the screen?
Yes, sir.
Good. Can you?
Is my screen visible?
Yeah. Yeah, visible. Can you take 2 minutes of time to just explain this?
You are mute, Swastika.
Yes, sir. 1 second. Sir, excuse me, sir. Do I have to explain this code?
Yeah, please go ahead.
Yes, sir. Okay. So there's a main function where the execution starts, and the first printf function is the hello world, and then in the line number 8, we create a child process, and RC stores the return value of the fork system call. So if RC value is less than 0, that means the fork system call invocation has failed, and that is why we state a statement to exit to stop the process. And then if RC value equals to 0, then the child process start to execute, and then the parent process invokes the wait system call. That means it is waiting for the child to execute its process completely, and then it will clean up the child process, and after that the parent process will execute. And yes, that's all.
Okay, good. Okay, so what is your output?
So this is the output of the hello world and the PID, and then the child, hello I'm child, and then hello I'm parent of that particular child, child PID, and then the wait return value, and then the parent PID.
Okay. Okay, what weight returns? A percentage D. What it returns?
It's a returns PID of child, sir.
Yes.
Good. Because
for which it's waiting.
Yeah, good, because that is what the signal, right? The parent has created child, and parent is waiting for child to complete the execution. After execution, there was some signal sent to, that is write is a system call, will return back to the parent saying that this ID done with the execution. Okay. All right.
Yes, sir.
Good. Fine. So can we go for the next program?
Yes, sir.
So the next system call is EXEC system call, right? And we know that we have a parent process, we have a child process. Are you able to see my screen?
No, sir.
Okay. So we have a parent process, we have a child process. Now, when we fork, the exact copy of parent is created. Now, if we want the child to execute completely different instruction, then in the child process, we use exec command, right? So that is what we done in the code. In the line 19, we have used exec system call, right? And by calling this, the child program, the child process will execute the word count program. Okay, and in line 22, the parent invoke byte system call and it wait for child to complete that. Okay. Can you do this? Can you do this?
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine.
Excuse me, sir.
Yeah.
Then the line 16 and 17, so what is strdata?
Okay, it's a string of function. Look at the line 4. We have used a header file string.h. Now, in a document, we have a characters, we have a word. So the string str is a string and dup is a duplicate.
Okay, sir.
Yeah. And you can also read more on that. See. Okay. Look. Again, are you able to see my screen? Everyone able to see my screen?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, fine. To understand line 19, okay, to understand line 19, we have to understand line 16, line 17, and line 18. So in line 16 to 18, we have multiple arguments. Now these arguments are passed in exec system call. Okay. All right.
Yes, sir.
Fine. So in line 16, the argument 0 is to find word count in a file. Now, when we use exec system call, we are passing an argument inside the parenthesis. We are passing an argument as args0. So this exec system call will run the program to find the word counts. Okay.
Excuse me, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, can you please repeat this 16, 17, 18 line explanation, sir, once again?
Yeah, definitely. I'll do that. I request you to please go ahead with the execution. I will definitely explain again those.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Okay, how many of you done this? Deepak?
Yes, sir. Doing
You
so.
done? Okay, okay. Please go ahead. Yeah.
Sir,
I
I'm
could see.
getting an error in line 17, sir.
Okay.
Sir, I'm getting the output of like first line is hello world, second line hello I am child, but in the third line it's like no such file or directory.
Yes, sir. Same.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So my output is little different. Like for a fraction of second, I got multiple print statements, and after that, hello, I'm a parent of this, that only.
Okay. Okay. Okay, fine. So, okay, fine. So first let us, fine. So first let us try to understand here. Okay. So in line 16, line 17, line 18, okay, in line 15, we have a pointer, my arguments, and 3, right, in the array size of 3. Now in line 16 and 17 and 18, we create 3 arguments, 0, 1, and 2, and you have str dup, right, that is string duplicate. Now why we use this? The line 16 is the command, wc is the command, right, to find the number of words in a file, right, that is belongs to the code of wc. Now in the next line, in line 17, in the parenthesis we used the name of the file, that is the name of the code, this code name is p3.c. That this is the file to be counted, file to count. Okay, so you need a sum file to count the number of words, right? So in order to count that, we need to pass a file name. So the name of the file is p3.c. And in the line 18, in the third arguments, we have used null, just to say that it's an end of the array, right? Now in line 19, we have used exec system call, and inside that we pass the arguments. That is, if you pass 0, then it says that we want to run the code WC. Do you understand this? The question which you asked? Okay. Can I have a response?
Yes, sir.
No, I think who has asked that question? Saswitika?
Yes, sir, I got it.
Okay. Okay. Now, now someone can share the screen to understand the error. How many of you got an output for this? Oh, Henit, you're getting it?
Yes, I got something.
Good, very good. So we will discuss this. Let us try to have a small break of 5 minutes. Is that okay?
Okay, sir.
Yeah,
Yes, sir.
fine. Yeah, we'll take 5 minutes break. Please don't sit in the system. Have a small walk and come back. Okay, thank you. Okay, welcome back. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Good.
Yes, sir.
Now, can we ask Henit? Henit, can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah. Can you please raise your hand? We'll give you privilege.
Here.
Yeah, good.
So I share.
I think we are not able to see it.
So I'm able to see it.
I think the people who use online compiler, you may not get this. Why? Okay, we'll come to that later. First, let us complete Henit. First, let Henit do the job.
is not available.
Okay. So if you can see my screen.
Henit, sorry for the interruption. I think you're not using what do you call online compiler, right?
So I'm using MacBook.
Yeah, good, good. Please go ahead.
Okay, so it's kind of very simple. First of all, I want my current process ID, so I'm getting my current process ID. Then I'm forking it so that I can get a child. First, case 1 when it fails, case 2 when it executes, and case 3 when it completes the execution. Okay, so when it fails, then I want to print the error. That is the standard error. That is shell error, and I'm just going to print the message that the forking is failed. Okay, I want to come down first in the else case where our parent process with the current PID, it would be like just coming to the last point, and it would be like waiting for this process, this child process to complete. Okay, coming to the child process, first of all, we just have to notice a couple of things. For every process, we give some argument and a list of execution things, right? So we are just making a character array, and our first character is word count. That is our shell command WC. We just want to copy it to the shell. Second is the file which we want to execute our word count, and third we just want to tell the system that yeah, we are done. Okay, then we are going to execute our things. First is what instruction we want the shell to do, which is word count. Then that's why we are giving the 0th index, and the second argument is what file we want, and okay, it will understand what we wanted to do, and this will complete. So if you can see the output here, so first of all, I'm getting the hello world with PID. This is the current process ID that we are getting, number one. Second, we are in the child, we are executing the child process. We are getting the child PID, that is 20851. Then when we are executing this, that's why we are getting the shell output. That is, if I just show you the file labclass22.c, then you can see that it is a shell command. It has 20 lines, 69 words, and 487 letters. Okay, so this file contains this information which we have just executed right now, and after the completion of it, our parent process can continue and just print this, where our word count is our child process ID, which you can compare is 20859 is equals to 20859. We have made our child, and our child is doing the exact different of what it used to do. Like the fork is not is fork right now. We are executing something different. That's why it is like printing the word count as this, and our child is like this. I'm done.
Good, good. Thank you. I appreciate your effort. Nice. Can you please, can you please remind that? Can you go to that code part?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, good. Now I want everyone to observe line 18, line 17, line 18, and line 19. In line 17, in the character argument, actually we have a size of 3, array size of 3. In 0, we have a string duplicate. Now this string duplicate will point to the file WC, will point to the code WC. We give a command, a word count. Now in line 18, we give the name of the file. We want the count of line, characters, and so on, right? And in line 20, we just call exec and we pass the argument inside that. So the child will, because your argument 0 is related to the word count, and the child will go to that word count program and will execute the word count on the file lab class 2 and so on, right? So people who use the Ubuntu operating system, they definitely get an output. But if you use online compiler, because of this name file in line 18, inside the parentheses we need to give a file name, right? So maybe because of that we are not able to get in output in the online compiler.
Yes, sir. It's showing no such file or directly is present.
Yeah, yeah. Good. So what is the alternate for this? How we can execute this? Okay, you can think of that. Okay, thank you, Hanit. Nice one. Yeah, good. Good. Okay, everyone understand this?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Good. Good. Thank you. Fine. So now the last program for the day is redirection. So what is a redirection here?
So your screen is not sharing.
Okay, okay, all right, all right. Yeah, so the last code for the day is a redirection. So what do you mean by this? What do you mean by this? We discussed in class. Okay.
So we are actually saving
So for the please go ahead.
So actually we are saving the output to another file.
Okay, good. Now, when Henit for the previous program, and when other people executed the program 1 and 2, you have seen output on the screen itself, on the console window, right? But if you want the output to be printed in some file, then in line 16, we close the standard out file pointer, right? Now, when the process is created, what operating system does? First, it allocates a memory image, okay, and then the CPU, and then it sets up the file pointer, that is standard out, standard in, standard error. Now all the process will have this file pointer, okay. Now for the child process, we are going to close the standard out pointer. Now when we close this, we have closed the file pointer standard out. So after we close, then if the child complete the execution, the output will not be printed on the screen. So instead of that, what we do, we open a new file and we want to write, okay, we want to create and we want to write the output in that file, right? the same code, the same previous code. Only thing is line 16 and 17 is added here. Okay. All right.
Yes, sir.
Now in the header file, what you can see here, what is one which is not available in the previous code and what you can see in the current code.
FCNTL function control.
Good. Line 5. Why we need this? F stands for file,
For redirection.
CLT. Good. File control. We want, okay, we need an output in the file. So we need to control that, right? Your function open, because we are opening a file and we are closing the file pointer. So all this is controlled by the header file fcntl. Okay, so again this code will be executed only in the Linux environment and in the Mac environment. If you do an online, maybe this will not, you may not get an expected output. Can someone please try this and tell us? The same code, you just add only this line 16 and something. And then you compile the code and use command cat to see what you have inside the file, to see the output.
So in online it says no such file directory.
Yes.
Yeah, definitely. In the online compiler, definitely you will get that message. But we will request Henning, can you please demonstrate us?
Sir, I'm doing that.
Okay. Please go ahead. Yeah. So can we know the people who use Linux and MacBook other than online compiler?
So what type of file is WC? Like the word count?
What type of
file? Like it did not have any extension.
No, you have an extension, right? .c.
Oh, okay, got it, sir.
Yeah, okay. So your slot is 3132, right?
So 47, 48.
Okay, 47, 48. Okay. I'm really happy that all of us learned the process API in better way. I appreciate all your efforts.
Sir, it is working.
Yeah, good. Just give me 1 minute time. Yes. So you can see the quiz for the day in the chat. So please complete before 7:20. Okay, all right. So Henrik, can you please share the screen?
Sure, sir.
Yeah. Good.
If you can see.
Yes.
Sir, I asked the system to make to give me a b.out file, which is like, okay. What I do is I just delete this. I delete the file and I regenerate the file using clang and b.out. So it generates me a file b.out and it's giving me like the whole output I wanted from a child, which is my code execution and my PID, my child PID, which is like embedded in this file.
Okay. Okay, good. So here, look at this. Look at the code. For this code, we ask only the child process output to be redirected to the file, not the parent process. Am I right? Come on, guys. Don't disappoint.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Right? Only the child output is directed to the file, not the parent output. The parent output will be as usual on the screen. Okay?
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So that is what you are seeing in the init case. Init, that is what happening in the code, right?
Yes, whatever child, if you like go back, this is the child out. This used to be our child output, right? Hello, I
Yeah.
am child, and this. So this
Yeah.
is all in this file right now.
Okay.
Not in
Okay.
the
Good.
shell.
Good. 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 Okay then. So you all done with assessment 2. Do you have any questions to ask?
So I wanted to ask about submission. How do we submit it? Like we just have the snippet of the code and snippet of output, right?
No. For this, you write the first program for the creation of fork system call, okay, and write something on fork for one sentence. What is
Like
fork
theory,
system call?
basically.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because we have enough time for assessment 2, but let me tell you what to be done. Write the first system call, the fork, right here, or let me tell you. Okay, give me some time. I will give you an explanation with your Word document.
Okay, so what about experiment 1? Only this thing, right? The code snippets and the output.
For Linux, you write the command and one line of instruction.
Okay.
Yeah, one line of instruction, and then the screenshot of output of that particular command. And for shell script, for the shell script, you have to write the program heading, and then you write the program, not screenshot. Write the program. That means that in the Word document, keep the program, and then keep the screenshot of the program, and then output of that.
All right, sir.
Okay, good. This is for your assessment 1.
So like for shell programming, we have to write or we have to copy paste the code?
For lab experiment, you just do it in the Word document.
Okay, sir.
Okay, avoid copy
Sir,
and paste Word. Okay, yeah.
Sir, some of the commands for Linux are not working in online, sir.
Yeah, I understand. So you can leave that and you can execute some of rest of the command.
I only wrote some diff about this death command, but not the screen concept. That's okay, sir.
Okay. Yeah, that's okay.
Okay,
Fine.
sir.
Yeah. So for this process API, keep all your code safely. So let me tell you how to submit this. Okay. So for program 3 and 4, please find different way. If you have any, by chance, if you get Linux environment, so you please try to execute that.
We can take help from friends.
Definitely, you can.
Okay, sir.
Yeah. Okay. If there is any further questions to ask.
Excuse me, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, in the wait system call, why we are giving null as the argument?
Okay. Good.
For denoting some end of array.
Yeah. Just I'm going to that. So inside the parenthesis, we give null. Okay. Okay. Or C, right. Okay, good. Now, let me share the screen. Yeah, so here in line 22, RC hyphen white is the left hand side, and then in the right hand side you have white null. So you have a parent process, you have a child process. Now in the parent process, the white system call is invoked. Okay. Now, why parent process is waiting? For what process? For what?
For the child process to completely.
Good. Now, RC is a return value, right? The parent will have a different return value. The child will have a return value. Now, RC comma white indicates that the parent process is waiting. Okay, that is what the left hand side is, and the right hand side is when the child complete the execution, the white goes back to the parent process, saying that there is no further instruction for the child to execute. That is why we have null.
Okay, sir.
Okay, good. So, any further questions to ask?
So can we leave if we have no doubts?
Yeah, I think we're done. So, if there is no further questions, can we end for the day?
Thank you, sir.
Okay. So, good evening. Have a good night to everyone. Bye bye.
Sir.
Yeah.
So for the assignment, we have to run this code and then do this copy paste in the Word, no?
Yes. For the process here we will discuss later. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Okay then. Okay. Okay
Thank
then.
you,
Bye
sir.
bye. Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Bye.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.